Tommy Morrison, the most popular kid in school. Captain of every sports team he entered, adored by hundreds of friends, and especially the females.
A big talker. He's not all show. He's really, he even looks like the guy next door.
Although he was only in his mid-teens, he was already a famous face in his small county of Delaware. His father Tim was a boxer, just like his father before him, and just like his old man before him. In fact, the Morrison name is one that has been recognized in the local area for close to 100 years.
He's too strong, eh? He's a very good man. And all the Morrisons, I know everybody, and they're just too strong, too big, eh?
Known for their charming looks and muscular physique, they use their natural builds to compete in damn near every tough man boxing contest in Southern America, and young Tommy was no exception. The only difference between Tommy and his forefathers was, in these clips you're looking at, he's only 13 years old. And while many years below the legal limit to fight, he was so incredibly advanced for his age, he forged a fake ID just to compete. And, quite frankly, went on to destroy men that were twice his age.
That's all I do is boxing. I go to bed thinking about it, and I wake up thinking about it.
Outside of his athletic ability, Tommy was also a bright pupil and was left in a predicament once graduation approached. He had the choice of pursuing an academic career or following in his father's footsteps as a boxer. A hard decision to make for many, but an easy one for Tommy.
I'm Tommy the Duke Morrison, a heavyweight with 24 knockouts, and I'm going to the top.
During the mid to late 80s, boxing had entered a golden age. Mike Tyson was the most feared man on the planet. Elite contenders were starting to rise in Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. The Rocky movies had taken the film world by storm, and everyone and their grandmother had a poster of Sylvester Stallone on their bedroom wall. Truly an incredible time for the fighting art.
Want to ring the bell?
All right. Ding, ding.
We're underway. And the pace is up-tempo right at the opening bell.
And behind every great professional is a great amateur. And while Tyson was obliterating top contenders in the pro ranks, a stocky white kid with a mullet was doing a similar job with the head guards on.
Well, it's simple. Oh, man. I was just going to say, it's simple. He hits you with the left hook, you're gone.
From 1985 to 1988, Tommy had amassed a huge record of 290 wins with 21 losses and a staggering 263 knockouts. An outrageous puncher's record, and while most were against other local fighters in the Delaware area, he did eventually make his way to the big league when he competed in the Seoul Olympic trials, infamously losing a narrow decision to rising star and later rival Merciless Ray Mercer, who ended up proving himself as the cream of the crop as he captured the gold medal just a few months later.
Well, the way things are going right now, it's hard telling who's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world, but I tell you what, I will be a heavyweight champion of the world. So boxing fans, watch out.
So glorious, victorious, we take what we want, we born warriors.
Despite having a large fan base before his pro career had even begun, Tommy remained grounded with an attitude to gradually fight his way to the top.
My main goal in life is to be able to take care of my parents. You know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here to start with.
He made his debut on a small hall event in New York, scoring a first-round knockout. And from here on, it was very clear that Tommy was a special power puncher, particularly with the left hook, as he was known for being able to close the distance in an instant with a fast, leaping left hand.
Curry at 227 pounds. Oh, big right hand. Another first-round knockout for Tommy the Duke Morrison.
It wasn't long before ESPN came knocking at the door asking for Tommy to feature on Tuesday Night Fights. A great platform for any young fighter looking to build a fan base while still taking on slightly lower journeymen in their division.
That's going to make me basically a household name. That's going to make people take me as a real fighter.
Of course, Morrison jumped at the chance and was soon matched up with the 19-6 Jesse Shelby on August 22nd, 1989.
And this is kind of a crossroads fight for Jesse Shelby. Big man on the ropes here, getting the best of it. Jesse Shelby in trouble. Yes, early. He lost in the Olympic trials. A big right hand followed up on the left by Morrison, and Shelby, I don't think he's going to let it go on, no. And Tommy Morrison remains unbeaten.
Yeah, the guy seemed like I was just a step off, you know, the first part through the first round and second round. But once I got adjusted to it, I think things went my way. I'd like to thank ESPN and Top Rank for having me here.
Okay, a quick report card from Bill Caton after 15 fights. What do you see, Bill?
I think Tommy is on his way. He's still learning, but he's improving from fight to fight.
Soon after the bout, Frank Stallone recalled his brother Sylvester was looking for a young, muscular athlete to play the character Tommy Gunn in the latest upcoming Rocky movie.
Yes, early. He lost in the Olympic trials. A big right hand followed up on the left.
After witnessing Morrison on Tuesday Night Fights, he quickly informed his brother that this young power puncher from Oklahoma might just be the guy he's looking for.
A movie producer heard about Tommy and decided that since his granduncle was John Wayne, that acting as well as fighting was in his blood.
Less than a week later, they had already begun filming.
Yes.
Despite the movie arguably being the worst in the series, Tommy received praise from many critics due to the fact he had never acted in any sort of capacity beforehand and did a relatively good job in bringing Tommy Gunn to life.
Okay, so which will it be? Will you go for the acting career or will you go for the heavyweight championship?
Well, I'm going to get the heavyweight championship first, and then we'll work on the other.
However, acting wasn't Tommy's forte. He was a boxer, and now with a brand new younger fan base, he couldn't wait to get back in the ring and continue his road to the title.
There's a big left hook.
Yeah, I got a job to do, and I plan on doing it quickly.
They're down with a crushing blow.
Tommy has a hell of a left hook. He's got a great left hook. Period. End of paragraph.
Fight after fight, knockout after knockout, the now 22-year-old Morrison couldn't put a foot wrong. He blasted out many of the same faces Mike Tyson did a couple years prior. The former world champion Pinklin Thomas couldn't make it past one round. The tricky slickster James Quick Tillis met the same fate a month prior. Steve Zowski, Lorenzo Boyd, and David Jacko were others Tyson faced and Tommy had steamrolled.
There's a left hand. Jacko's down and probably out.
The big fight was on the tip of everyone's tongue. Tommy Morrison versus Mike Tyson.
Now boxing big shot Bill Caton is grooming Tommy for a shot at heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. And it could be the grudge match of the century.
The style clash was undoubtedly going to gel well for the fans. Both were undefeated and both were big knockout punchers. And it certainly wasn't an idea Tommy was shying away from.
A lot of people are pretty satisfied with saying, hey, I fought for the heavyweight championship of the world. We don't want to fight for it. We want to fight for it and win it.
If he's there when I get there, well, then he'll have to be removed.
Just before the Morrison and Tyson fight came into fruition, Buster Douglas shocked the world with a historic upset over the seemingly unbeatable Tyson.
Landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down. He's not going to make it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Almost 30 years has passed since that night in Tokyo, and still to this day, it's regarded as the biggest upset, not just in boxing, but in world sports history.
Boxing, you never know what to expect. I mean, and if you don't believe me, you can ask Mike Tyson.
A few months later, Tommy entered the most significant bout of his career, Repeat or Revenge, Morrison versus Mercer 2. On the line, the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Ray, I'm ready.
3 years on from their clash in the Olympic trials, Tommy had a chance to set things straight as he matched up in a widely speculated 50-50 showdown with now 17-0 professional Ray Mercer.
No mercy.
Mercer had shown a lot in the way of promise himself during the build-up to this contest. Not quite the flashy power puncher like Morrison, but a rough and tough resilient brawler nevertheless.
It could end in this round. It's over now. It's over, Al. It's over. And there's the big one. That was the one to put him to sleep. And that's the one more. Oh.
We'll know that Tommy Morrison belongs in boxing. Ray Mercer is the WBO heavyweight champion. Careful early. Tommy starts very fast. He has a lot to prove, and he'll try to do that in a quick fashion. Ray Mercer defending his title.
Opening, neither a defensive whiz, so you know there will be openings.
Take Morrison out of it. Just let the referee set.
Big shots by Morrison. Great chin. You have to make him quit. And so far, it has been Morrison big in the first 2 rounds.
Morrison was in the greatest shape of his career. The timing and speed of his combos during the first 2 rounds were breathtaking. Mercer was known for having a chin of iron, but to walk through the onslaught of Tommy shots the way he did elevated everyone's respect.
Right on it.
3rd round, Morrison teeing off on Mercer.
Take so many shots.
And now Mercer puts a couple of rights together. Remember, he left Morrison with a right hand as a gift to end the 3rd round.
By the end of the 4th round, Tommy's mouth was wide open. Struggling to breathe, his game plan was obviously to blast Mercer out inside 3, and in retrospect, it was a huge oversight considering the strength he possessed.
Mercer made him pay for it.
As in his 27th. Mercer pounding away. Morrison may be going. Morrison is gone.
Here he is just connecting with shots, unanswered punches, out on his feet and hurt is Tommy the Duke Morrison. A lot of shots from merciless Ray Mercer.
The loss was a tough one to swallow, and Tommy went from the hottest prospect in world boxing to a man with a gray and bleak future. After all, if he couldn't beat Ray Mercer, the weakest regarded champion in the division, how on earth could he compete with the likes of Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson?